I don't think anyone ever disputes Fury as a fighter. I think he's been brilliant. I just personally think this, to me now, is just I don't know. I just think there's no need for that. So as we expected, and we spoke about in the podcast the other day, that Tyson Fury now is back, but we kind of knew that was happening. He was making noise, but I see Frank Warren has been on TalkSport, TalkSport Boxing with Simon Jordan and Jim White. So I'm just going to have a look at this. I seen the first minute or two of it, so I will, we'll talk through it and watch it and see what we think.
The fifth retirement of his career, in actual fact, and that announcement came shortly after losing to Usyk in a rematch for the unified heavyweight world titles. Fury insists that the retirement is for good, but then
we kind of knew that wasn't going to be the case. He's done it before. Even after the last retirement, obviously he came back again. And of course, there was a video going around the other day of him talking to the Sheik. That's it with Fury. You know his kind of personality, but there's no doubt about it. Like he's great entertainment for the sport.
Turki Al-Sheikh over the weekend on Twitter, the Gypsy King will be back. I talked with him, and I have his word to have him in Riyadh season 2026. We have a rabbit to hunt. Interesting, rabbit.
Yeah, well, we knew Fury was going to make this announcement that he was back. That's Fury for you. As I said, he's actually good for the sport. He's great entertainment. But him telling you he's retired, I mean, I don't know if anyone at this stage took that comment serious, and then they don't know too much about Fury. But yeah, I mean, we expected that. This is as far up as I got, so I just said I'd go back and watch it. So everything in here is live. So I'm going to be interested to hear now what's been said.
So where does Frank Warren, top boxing promoter in the UK of Tyson Fury, where does Frank fit into all this?
Frank is all smiles now again because Fury's back. But sure, look, we know it. We know what Frank is going. I have an idea what Frank is going to say anyway. He'll support Fury all the way. And maybe rightly so. He's his promoter, and Fury's still fighting. I'm sure he's still fighting. He's still sparring. So I'm sure he's going to just big it up a little bit. So let's just see what he's to say.
There's an agreement made. That's all I can tell you at the moment.
An agreement made, but you were kept out of it for some strange reason.
I'm kept out of it at all. Of course, I'm not being kept out of it.
An agreement for what? Did he actually say what the agreement was for? Agreement.
But he feels he wants to fight Usyk again. But as I said, we've got a show on the 19th.
Yeah, well, look, as I said in the podcast the other day, I don't think that fight should happen. I mean, if Usyk wins the fight, I don't think there's any. What's the point of having a third fight? I mean, Usyk won the first two fights. How many chances do you want at? Like, I'd understand if it was 1-1, or if there was controversy. I don't even think. I think most people seen the fight as Usyk win in both fights. Now, as I said on the podcast the other day with Mick, if Usyk lost the fight with Dubois coming, then yeah, you could make an argument that Dubois, because they've never fought, Dubois and Fury would deserve that shot. I mean, as I said, when we said, is he lost to the man, and Dubois would have bet the man if that fight, if that happens in the next couple of weeks. And then you might say, yeah, but if Usyk wins the fight against Dubois, which I think he will, I mean, he's wrapped it all up. He's beaten Dubois twice. He's beaten Fury twice, and he's beaten Joshua twice. Like, you can't, I don't know, how many times can you keep going? I often wonder, like, if it was the other way around, even with Joshua, with Fury, if they had to beaten Usyk twice, if they even gave him the rematch after the first one, you know, would they be talking about coming back for a third fight? Now, I know it's all about money now, but I think for fighting fans, and they are going to look at it if it's on the telly. I mean, they are going to watch it. We all will. I mean, we're all watching worse fights than them, but come on, like, I'm a Fury fan. I went to see him in Wembley. I went over just to support him, and I have been a Fury fan. So, but like, that third fight shouldn't be. That shouldn't. I mean, no. I mean, you know, maybe there's more interest in Fury and Joshua, and I mean, that'll put big numbers up. But I just think, I mean, if you beat a man twice, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there should be a third fight, you know. But if Dubois beats Usyk, yeah, because, you know, they'll ever fought. Usyk and Dubois and Fury's never had it, so that would be understandable. Like, Fury should be up there and thereabouts. I think Usyk should retire if he wins this fight. I mean, any other fight after that is just, to me, money for him, because he's wrapped up the game. I mean, you know, and he's done it convincingly, because if he does Usyk twice, if he does Dubois twice, and he does Joshua twice, which he has, and he done Fury twice, which he has, what other fight is there out there? I'm trying to think. You know, maybe Parker deserves a shot, but I don't know. I think maybe Usyk, he will fight another couple of more times, but I don't want to see this fight.
I mean, for Tyson Fury, he's a formidable fighter. Till the point he lost to Usyk, he was probably the best heavyweight on the planet. Whether I've disliked some of the things he said is irrelevant. He's a great fighter.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think that's exactly what I agree with Simon there. Nobody's disputed Fury as a fighter. Great fighter. He's been brilliant for boxing. He's been brilliant for the heavyweight division, and the comeback he made back into heavyweight boxing after the time he had out was amazing, unbelievable. And I think that's what people got on board and liked him for, because that was an amazing thing to do. Like, you know, some people, when they're out like that, and especially the way he put on to make that comeback, was amazing. And to come back and win the world title was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Just a question there. Tyson Fury, obviously a magnificent boxer, and he's lost twice, hasn't he, to Usyk? Has this been eating away at him, and he just wants to put the record straight, and he's going to, do you know what, let's do it all again?
I agree with Martin Keown there. I think actually it is eating away at him, because he'd be a proud man. And like with all the things that he overcome in his career, I mean, that would obviously be a big blow to him, because he's never lost before.
And they were too close. They were very, very close fights, and they were good fights to watch. Whatever way you want to, you know, whether you like Tyson or you like Usyk, whatever you feel about it, the fact were they were very, very good fights, and he did feel he certainly won that last one, and I thought he'd done enough to win it. But
well, you'll say that, and he was frank, but you know, I wouldn't hold that against you. You would say that.
But that's opinions. That happens in sport, and he feels he can. If the fight happens again, he feels he can reverse the official decisions.
Yeah, I mean, if you fight a fella enough of times, I'm sure you'll catch him once. But if it was 2-0 to Fury, would Frank be saying this? Would Frank want to go back to Usyk? I don't think so.
But for me, I think that Daniel has he's always had the equipment. I think he's now got the mental capabilities to do the job.
Yeah, he does have the capabilities, no doubt about it. The mental thing that he spoke on, that's exactly what I was saying the other day in the podcast. I think that the knockdown in the first round, the first knockdown in the fight with Usyk, I thought was soft. I don't know, it felt like he went down easy. Now, again, he could have got clipped, you know, and top of the head, or maybe he was a bit dizzy or a bit off balance and he went down. But it felt, I've always felt that about Dubois. Now again with the Joe Joyce fight, he did his eye was fairly damaged when he took the knee, but I don't know. I mean, I said it. I think that this will be good for Fury if Dubois wins, and I think that's what they're hoping for. Well, of course Frank is as well, because obviously he promotes Dubois. But Fury will be licking his lips if Dubois wins, because that's his way back to the world titles. He's not with Usyk. I don't think he's getting it. Either way, even if he fights him, I think Usyk could win again. And that's why I don't think there's no need for the third fight. I think that Dubois, yeah, he could take Dubois. Styles makes fights. Hearn, as I said, wants Joshua to get a title shot again, because he wants to say 3-time champion. But he is going to have to go through a couple of fighters first before he deserves that shot, if you ask me. But they could do that. I mean, they could say, if Dubois won in 2 weeks' time, they could make Dubois Tyson Fury, and then they could make Joshua against Joseph Parker. You know, I mean, that's a possibility.
I remember them saying this, Tony, who's a big fight fan, I truly believe this is Daniel Dubois' time. Simon has a point. This will be different. I expect Usyk's time to come to an end. Whether that happens or not is another matter.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. But they're like me, they're just opinions. I mean, it could happen. I mean, this could be the moment where Dubois comes into his own and really, really stamps himself on the heavyweight division after knocking out Joshua and potentially beating Usyk. And that could be a mixture of Dubois stepping up and Usyk, maybe not, maybe father time catching up with him. But I still can't see Dubois winning the fight. Yeah, it's a possibility, of course. It's boxing, but just going off of form, I mean, you have to say Usyk, and that's why he's the odds-on favourite.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Frank thinks, and I mean, maybe it's a difficult question to ask him because he's vested interest in Daniel. For me, I think that if Usyk is 2 or 3% off of what he's been previously, and Daniel Dubois is the best version of himself, then he wins. But would you concur with that, Frank, or do you think it doesn't matter if Usyk's 2 or 3% off?
Yeah, I suppose that was just like you were saying. That 2 or 3% could be the slide. And Dubois could be, a better version of himself, even better than he was against Joshua. Let's see what Frank says.
Daniel still will win.
I think with Usyk, I think he's such a smart operator. He probably feels he knows. He feels he knows what he. First of all, they wouldn't have taken this fight had he not thought he could win again. So that's his.
Yeah, of course, that's true. I mean, he's beaten him once already. He's obviously going to fancy it, but Usyk doesn't pull out of fights. He gives them all a chance, and then he confirms that in the second fights, which he's done already, that he's the man. So, as I said, if he does this again, I don't know what's for Usyk after this. If he wins this fight, I mean, apart from Parker deserving a shot, I think the man should retire. They're going to catch him eventually if he keeps fighting. But he knows better. He's a smart man. It's going to be interesting.
I know for a fact, and he knows Usyk, that Daniel can hurt him because he did hurt him to the body.
Got to stop him though, Frank, isn't he? He's got to stop him, hasn't he? He's not going to win on points, Daniel, is he?
Well, I don't know, mate. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, that's obvious. I mean, Simon Jordan, I mean, that's what I was saying the other day as well. I think he can't beat him on points. He's not going to outbox Usyk. I mean, if you were told the fight is in the 12th round and you didn't see any of it, we're in the 12th round now, there's no way Dubois, I can't see Dubois outboxing him. I mean, if Usyk's comfortable enough to be in there after 12 rounds, you'd imagine that's a points decision. I think Dubois' way of winning it is that a stoppage, and he is capable. He's capable of hurting Usyk. We've seen that, in the first fight. He's right. Whether it was a blow or not, he hurt him. And Usyk needed that time. I think that's why Usyk's taking this fight. I think he wants to just actually finish this argument. Even though he got up. Now, let's be clear about it as well. And I meant to say this the other day. Dubois, that fight was never close, Usyk and Dubois, that first fight. The only time, the closest it was in the first round, when they just started the fight. That fight was never close. Yes, when Dubois hurt him, that was a moment. But up to that, it was Usyk, and after that, it was Usyk. So the fight was never close, in my opinion, anyways. But I think maybe that's annoying Usyk. And I think, remember 3 or 4 weeks ago, or 5 or 6 weeks ago, he got really pissed off about it, and they were getting to him because they kept saying, "Oh, that was a legit shot." And I think that's what's riling Usyk up now. He wants to really, really put this to bed now. And yeah, that'll be it then. I mean, if he comes out and beats Dubois convincingly again, we won't have to talk about that again,
Don't underestimate him as a boxer, because he was boxing very, very well. I know that obviously Babe Miller isn't Usyk, but he boxed him well. He won every round and showed how dangerous he was right going into.
Yeah, he's right. He did. He was very good against Miller, and he pulled it off against Hrgovic. So he was very impressive against Joshua. Very impressive. So, like, I don't want to we wouldn't take anything away from Dubois. My only thing ever, as I said, was that thing. If he can't get you out there, or no, there was times he couldn't get the other lads out there, and he eventually did. But I don't know. Usyk's kind of really, I guess, probably a frustrating fighter to fight against. I mean, the lads will tell you that. The two lads, Fury and Joshua, he's hard hit. You can't pin him down at all. And the big men obviously probably thought they could overpower him because he is a smaller heavyweight, but they couldn't do it. I mean, they can't do it. They couldn't do it. So he is a tricky opponent. Will Dubois get frustrated if he can't again? I like Dubois. I do really like him. So I don't want this video to come across as I've anything against Dubois, which I don't. I don't have anything against any of them. I just watch it as a fan, the same as, all fans' has opinions. But and we love boxing. But just from what I've seen, I just think that Usyk has the upper hand mentally, and I hope Dubois gives him a good fight, and he may well. But I just can't see past Usyk at the moment.
Frank, finally, do you read anything into what's happened behind the scenes in the Alexander Usyk camp?
No, I suppose it's an opinion, but this will be interesting. Unless Frank knows something, but if he did, he probably wouldn't say it. But this will be interesting now to hear, because that's confusing me, that part of it. The two lads were always close. And it seemed that they were always beside each other, no matter what. All the videos, interviews, they were right beside each other. So this to me was a shock. And of course, it's going to be a talking point, because that's one of the things they're going to bring up closer to the fight. That is this going to really mess with his mind? Of that, I think Usyk. I think Usyk's too strong-minded. I think he's mentally so strong. I don't think this will affect him, but.
We've got, or it won't work. We've got a real good show there, and this fight, I'm telling you, is going to be something special. So,
I hope so. We'll be at it. So, it'll be brilliant. Wembley's amazing, in fairness, and the atmosphere around the grounds, and especially in that. Box Park, is that what you call it? We were there last time for the build up. It's brilliant. I love it. That seems to be it. Fury's back. As I said, he's good for boxing. He's great for boxing. He's been brilliant. He just come up, I think, against a Usyk. He's a one-off, I think, Usyk. you know, and I know, like, I'm sitting here, like, in my house here, and he's a heavyweight champion, and I'm talking shite, but no, I just don't like to see the third fight. Obviously, we all watch it as boxing fans. Is Usyk going to be around long enough to the point where you'll say, yeah, let them have a third fight? But I just think it's too close after this last second fight, and then obviously the first fight before that. I think it's too close for a third fight. And I don't think Usyk's going to be around long enough for that. Because, I mean, if Fury's around for another couple of years and he wins 2 or 3 big fights, you know, you might say, yeah, have a crack at Usyk again. That I might say, yeah, that's fair enough. But I don't think Usyk's going to be around long enough for that to happen. So, and at the same time, I think it's too close after the other 2 fights they had for him to get straight back in with Usyk. If Dubois wins, if he wins 100%, Usyk or Fury deserves that shot. As like, he has been around, he's won all his fights. The only man that beat him was Usyk, so he would actually deserve it. So, you know, that fight, yeah, they've never fought before. It'd be very, very interesting. Where does Parker come into all this? Because I think it's unfair to him as well. The fact, especially with the fight being called off with Dubois the last time. He took Martin Bacoli, even though Martin Bacoli was a last minute thing, but he still did what he had to do, and Parker, he won in amazing fashion. If Dubois wins, that fight could happen with Fury. They could delay Parker again. Who does Parker fight? Could be Joshua. We'll see. Right, that's it. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, call a few names, do what you want. Yeah, so we'll be talking soon.